Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So, this is titled, They Are Not Coming Anymore. America's Hidden Tourism Crisis. USA tourism collapse. That's crazy to hear because, especially being from New York for so long, for so long, I would always hear New York, New York, like you're from New York. Oh, I want to go there. And to hear that it's not the place anymore. America, period, isn't the place no more. Hey, times is changing for sure. But with that being said, we're smoking on my dragons, divine, righteous, almighty, greats, overachieving, never slacking. And we're going to go ahead and hop right into this. Here we go.
The U.S. is tracking a big drop in tourism from around the world. Take a look at this. Travel from Canada and Mexico was down double digits in March. We're also...
Before I even continue, I just want to ask the audience real quick. Anybody who watches this, are we surprised at all? Are we surprised at all?
Seeing fewer visitors from Western Europe, Central and South Asia, South America, I should say.
Here in New York, tourism is also being hit big time, once again driven by negative sentiment toward the USA.
Stunning images of near-empty passenger planes are popping up on social media. These international flights have many tourists flying to the USA practically alone.
That's crazy. That's wild because, like I said, being from New York, especially when things like MySpace and all the social media start to take off and you're meeting people from other places, they're so excited to come to the States and to want to visit New York or LA or Miami, any of these big major cities, and to hear that it's like people are like, I'm good. Man, that's crazy.
Massengill flew from London to Chicago. Look, barely anyone on board.
There was nobody there. There was nobody in my row. It was really shocking. I've never been on a flight like that.
Something strange is happening in 2025. For decades, the United States stood tall as the dream destination, the land of skyscrapers, movie stars, and bucket list vacations. But this year, that dream is cracking. Global tourism is changing fast, and for the first time in a generation, the U.S. isn't on the winning side. In the past, travelers came not just for the views, but for what America represented. Freedom, innovation, opportunity. But now, concerned. People are second-guessing. They're skipping the Statue of Liberty, avoiding Times Square, choosing other destinations. Not because of distance or price, but because something deeper is shifting. In country after country, we're seeing the same pattern: hesitation. Not loud, not dramatic, but steady and growing. Business travel is stalling. Student exchanges are declining. Entire airline routes are quietly disappearing, and the data doesn't lie. In 2025, American tourism is no longer the safe bet it once was. According to the U.S. Travel Association's April snapshot, international visits have dropped significantly across key regions, including Western Europe. What's causing this? It's not one big moment. It's a combination of many. Let's talk about trust. Across Europe and Asia, travelers report rising concerns about U.S. immigration, long border waits, aggressive questioning, even racial profiling. National headlines are filled with stories of detentions and visa denials, even for professionals and students. These aren't rumors, they're real events documented.
Crazy, because it's like me being a so-called Black American. There's so many communities, or so many times in history where you hear about racial discrimination and you hear about what goes on, and then it's like now the rest of the world is feeling that way towards America, like they don't even want to deal with America. That's wild. That's wild. Like they feel like, oh, they're being discriminated against, or there's some type of like it almost seems like, whoa, is there some type of RoboCop Terminator stuff going on over there? And that's making people fall back, and that's crazy to see. That is crazy. Man, welcome to 2025!
Shared and amplified. In Germany, the government officially updated its travel guidance after several German citizens, including students, were detained at American airports. According to Reuters, the German Foreign Ministry stated that even a valid visa no longer guarantees entry into the U.S. In Japan, NHK, the national broadcaster, covered multiple incidents of engineers and tourists being held for hours by U.S. customs officers, fueling frustration among businesses and universities. And in Australia, SmartTraveller, the government's travel advisory service, issued multiple warnings about inconsistent airport security and increased scrutiny at U.S. borders. Meanwhile, Flight Center, the country's largest travel agency, reported a 16% drop in U.S. bookings while travel to Japan and New Zealand surged. On social media, Australians share stories of invasive phone checks, long delays, and general unease.
I was questioned by one of the officers, and then shortly after, my mother and I were taken into a room. We were held there for quite some time before my mum was released, and then I was unfortunately remaining behind for further interrogation, and then that was about a 4 to 5 hour ordeal before I was taken to the federal detention center.
News.com.au ran a widely shared article describing first-hand accounts of travelers being ordered to unlock their phones or face immediate deportation. This isn't just about tourism anymore. It's about identity, values, reputation.
I feel like this is going to make people become even stronger as a culture within their own nations, within their own countries, and really start to not care about what's going on over here. When so many people already don't care anymore. They're like, listen, I'm good. I don't want to be in America. But y'all know, like, I think it was like this, it's just like Japanese like toy or something, but it's like, you know, when you put it on your finger and then someone else puts their finger in it, and like when you pull away, you can't really break it, but when you come together, that's how you get out of it. It almost seems like people now that they're, you know, due to the unfortunate circumstances, well, you could say fortunate if you know, this all works out how I'm saying, but let's say due to everything going on, they're being turned off by America, like, oh, I don't want to be there. So now they're learning to, I feel like, even love their country more, or learning to be like, everyone's kind of coming together, and I feel like that's how they're going to get stronger.
For many international travelers, America once symbolized optimism. Now, it often represents uncertainty. And let's not ignore the political elephant in the room: serious tariffs, trade tensions, diplomatic friction. These don't just impact policy, they ripple down to everyday travelers. Flights get cut, insurance premiums rise, confidence in the travel experience falters. And the response has been swift. In Canada, the country's closest neighbor, Forbes reported that in April alone, air travel to the U.S. from Canada dropped nearly 20%, while land border crossings fell over 35%. Canadian media and forums are filled with discussions urging travelers to skip the States and spend their money elsewhere. Global news highlighted a growing trend: Canadians canceling Florida vacations and buying properties in Portugal or Mexico instead. Realistic airlines are responding too. Air Canada has reduced routes to U.S. cities and increased flights to Latin America.
I was not expecting them to buy properties in Portugal and Mexico.
And Europe. The truth is, the world still wants to believe in the US. The culture, the music, the technology, it's still admired, but concerned. But in 2025, admiration isn't enough. What people want now is respect, safety, and consistency. In France, Le Monde published a front-page piece suggesting that America has lost its romantic image. French travel agencies report double-digit declines in US bookings, with many travelers now opting for Spain, Greece, or Quebec. The French no longer view the US as a guaranteed ally. Polls show that over 70% of French citizens now hold unfavorable views of American leadership. Can this trend reverse? Absolutely. But it's going to take work, and not just flashy advertising campaigns. It will require reforming how America treats foreign visitors. That means clearer border policies, cultural sensitivity training, and deeper cooperation with foreign consulates. Because tourism isn't just economics, it's diplomacy, it's storytelling, it's how people relate to a place before they ever step foot in it. And when visitors stop coming, it's not just lost money, it's lost trust, lost relationships. If America wants to remain a beacon of inspiration, it must repair more than runways. It must repair its image. Maybe that starts with empathy, with realizing that every traveler, every passport carries a story and deserves dignity. What do you think? Is the US still the dream destination it once was? Or are we witnessing a quiet unraveling of something much bigger? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this report insightful, hit like, subscribe, and share. Because understanding the shift in global tourism isn't just about where we're going, it's about where we feel welcome. In 2025, that welcome is starting to fade, and rebuilding it begins now.
New York, New York. But Honestly, I definitely think it's an unraveling of something way bigger. I feel like this has been expected. This has been coming. This has been it's been on the way, and it's unraveling for sure. And I do think that we're about to see some things. I mean, we already have seen some things, but I truly believe that this is all just the beginning. This is all just the beginning of. I feel like within the next 3 years, what I'm saying now will make more sense to people for sure. Man, never would I think, never would I have thought that there would be a time where traveling would be like. I mean, 2020, we seen what happened there, but ever since 2020's been over, it's just been such a roller coaster ride, and now people are just so disgusted by America. Feel they're feeling like they're being just profiled and, like I said, like some RoboCop Terminator stuff. So within the next 3 years, yeah, and ain't I'm gonna keep this channel rocking. I always say we just getting started, so I'm gonna go back and look for videos like this within 3 years. Actually, I'll do a year. So when January comes of 2026, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for certain videos like this where I spoke about. Matter of fact, I'll mark this in my. I'm gonna put this in my like an alarm, and I'm gonna put this specific title, and I'm gonna come back to this video in January, and I'm gonna say okay, and I'm gonna report every year on the changes and how much things have changed. I think that would be pretty cool. But with that being said, y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. And I'll be back with more soon. If you enjoy this, definitely don't hesitate to hit that like, that subscribe, that notification bell for more. And everybody be safe out there. Much love.